And then Marina Mabrey comes out of nowhere and chucks her to the floor.
Not just this game, it's been happening all season long. This is what happens, right? This is what happens. You've got competitive women who are the best in the world at what they do, right? And when you allow them to play physical and you allow these things to happen, they're going to compete.
What do you think, again, in the second half allowed you all to create some distance there, and what can you build on going into that cup final?
I thought we were physical on defense. I think that's where we lacked in the first half. I think the first half we had moments where we're up 10, we're up 8, we're up 12.
Coach, do you think it's something pertaining to your team, or do you think this is a league-wide issue?
Well, I've seen quite a few dust-ups in the league so far, so I think it's a league-wide issue. I mean, bad officiating is bad officiating.
Was it an accident or something more deliberate? New footage shows the exact moment Jacy Sheldon made contact with Caitlin Clark, and basketball fans are divided. What really happened during this controversial play that left Clark injured? Stick around, because we break it all down frame by frame and reveal what this could mean for the rivalry between these two teams. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Imagine this. The Fever and the Sun are neck and neck, locked in a battle that felt more like a playoff game than anything else. Every possession counted.
There wasn't an explanation for the tech that she got. You know, I think it was pretty obvious that stuff was brewing, right? When the officials don't get control of the ball game, when they allow that stuff to happen, and it's been happening all season long.
Now let's watch this in slow motion. Here, Jacy Sheldon is guarding Caitlin, swipes her in the face. There's one. Going for the ball, swipes her in the eyeball. Of course, Marina Mabrey is going to get ejected because that was unwarranted. She literally came out of nowhere and chucked Caitlin Clark. There should be a flagrant one, of course, on Jacy Sheldon. This is what they called. Caitlin Clark, Marina Mabrey, Tina Charles were assessed with technical fouls on Tuesday. Caitlin, Marina, and Tina Charles. Technical fouls. That's it. Technical fouls. That's it.
Caitlin Clark, known for her killer instincts even as a rookie, was commanding the floor. The game clock was winding down and tensions were visible on both sides. Players were scrapping for loose balls, defense was tight, and every drive to the hoop came with a risk of contact. And then it happened. Jacy Sheldon, pressing hard to defend a fast break, collided right into Clark as she attempted to cut into open space. The sound of the impact was enough to make the whole arena pause. Clark went down almost immediately. Now, recent footage of that moment adds a whole new layer to what happened. From one angle, it looks like Sheldon was fully committed to cutting off Clark's movement. But if you slow it down, there's an unsettling precision to where she made contact. Was it just an aggressive defensive play, or was it something that crossed a line? The video shows Sheldon shifting her momentum a split second before impact. Analysts are already dissecting her footwork, pointing out how her positioning was unusually close considering the spacing on the court. A tighter angle reveals that Clark's left leg took the brunt of the collision and twisted awkwardly beneath her. Her reaction? Instant. She grabbed at her knee, her expression telling the whole story. Plays like this are not rare in a league where defense thrives on physicality, but what makes this one different is the context. The stakes were sky high for both teams, and Clark was the spark plug for the Fever's offense. Some commentators have already weighed in. One analyst noted, Sheldon's movement might have been a little too reckless, given where she was on the court.
I started talking to the officials in the first quarter, and we knew this was going to happen. You could tell it was going to happen, so they got to get control of it. They got to be better. They got to be better.
The referees are going to review the play because that's a lot of contact going on right there. That's a lot of unnecessary contact. That's a lot of non-basketball contact happening during this play.
Can you specifically detail what you mean by get control of the game, just to be in your words?
Get control of the game is call the fouls that are actually happening on the floor. Right, and consistently call the fouls that are actually happening on the floor.
We have now seen at this point in time, we've seen multiple eye pokes, right? We've had that happen not only with Jacy Sheldon, but also with Dejanay Carrington last season, and Dejanay Carrington has done it multiple times this season to other players.
Another mentioned how Clark's reaction suggests the injury was no minor bump. She was clearly in pain as she tried to stand, only to limp to the sidelines moments later. So, did Sheldon cross the line, or did emotions make this collision seem worse than it was? Either way, Clark's visible discomfort and the hit's timing make it hard to ignore, and it had immediate consequences on the game's trajectory. You know what's crazier than the collision? The ripple effects it's already causing across the league. Let's start right after the impact.
We kind of got over the hump there, and then we're able to grow our lead in the fourth quarter. They even cut it to 10 in the fourth quarter, and I thought we really responded well, and we're able to open it up for a pretty comfortable win.
After 15 minutes of deliberating, that's what you call 3 techs and a flagrant 1? That's it. A non-basketball play getting shoved to the ground, and it's just a technical foul. Nobody gets ejected. Now from that, obviously tensions were so high.
Clark was visibly in pain but refused to give up. She tried to stay on the court, limping through a defensive possession before her coaches had to pull her out. Watching from the sidelines, towel over her head, her frustration was impossible to hide. It wasn't just about the pain. It was the realization of what was slipping away. The Fever scrambled to adjust without her, but the momentum had already shifted. The Sun capitalized, and the Fever struggled to keep up without their rookie superstar, who was the heartbeat of their offense.
Jacy Sheldon is guarding Caitlin Clark. She swipes her in the eyeball. Caitlin Clark nudges her off because Jacy stays in her face. And then Tina Charles runs over and is kind of wagging her finger in Caitlin Clark's face. Marina Mabry, bat out of hell, chucks Caitlin Clark to the ground.
Well, I'll ask about the game too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys came for basketball.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
talk
seriously.
about basketball.
Yeah.
Come on now.
What do you think, just how you all were able to pull away in the second half, Caitlin, in
We're
particular?
going to the Commissioner Cup Championship.
Let's
That's pretty
go!
exciting.
Marina just came out of nowhere and chucked her to the ground and was not ejected for that. So what do you actually need to do to be ejected from the game in a WNBA game?
Now this injury has the whole league talking. How bad is it? If it's serious, Clark could be benched for weeks at a time when her team needs her most. The Fever's playoff hopes don't look nearly as strong if she's sidelined, and let's be honest, her Rookie of the Year chances might take a massive hit too. With all that Clark has accomplished already, lighting up box scores and shaking up defenses, it's wild to think this one moment could derail her momentum. And that's just the team's side of the story. For the league, Clark is essential. Her name is all over Fever promos, and missing her at major events? That's a headache no one wants, especially with the All-Star game just around the corner. But this isn't just about one game, or even one season. Plays like this have a way of sticking in people's minds and fueling rivalries. Fans are already comparing this incident to past WNBA controversies, those moments when physicality turned personal and the tension carried over into future matchups. Think about it. Sheldon's collision could become the spark that not only sets this rivalry ablaze, but defines it. If Clark comes back strong and goes off against the Sun in their next meeting.
They took these referees, they were at the monitor, they looked at it for, I'm not even exaggerating, you guys, like 15 minutes. 15 minutes they are watching this play over and over. They are seeing who pushed who.
And then what did you make of Sophie Cunningham's flagrant foul on Jacy towards the end?
It was a flagrant foul.
Do you think it's like defending Caitlin or defending the team, or how do you view just how it all?
I view it as a flagrant foul.
And Jacy Sheldon was assessed with a flagrant 1 foul, and no players were ejected. We've seen eye pokes. We have seen hair pulls by multiple players. Just a couple nights ago, Angel Reese got her hair yanked by another player, and it was a common foul.
That adds a whole new layer to the story. But first, it all depends on her recovery. And that's what everyone's waiting to see. This wasn't just a random collision. It's the kind of moment that sticks, the kind that could redefine how we see the Fever and the Sun. The play itself raises big questions, not just about Jacy Sheldon's intentions, but about the league's stance on protecting its stars. Caitlin Clark, visibly shaken and exhausted, showed more than just pain. She showed why she's essential to this game. But what do you think? Was Sheldon out of line, or was this just part of the game? Share your thoughts below and stay tuned. Clark's comeback could make their next matchup unforgettable.